And President McCankle's Taco Tits had an absolutely batshit bonkers press conference yesterday. And when you're covering this administration, it's like, what part do you cover? Do you cover the fact that it's basically the Trump Epstein files? Do you cover the fact that this guy is 85 million years old, has these swollen cankles, is a total authoritarian, is doing all this quid pro quo stuff with nefarious actors? What do you cover? Well, today we're going to talk about this insane presser where it appears that Taco Tits has a little mini stroke. Kylie, play the clip. Okay, so for those of you that are listening, not watching, he is walking away from a podium and he has like this jerk neck type situation happen. And you can tell immediately when it happens, he's like, oh shit. And then he looks at the audience that he's leaving from the presser and he waves kind of like oh, did they see that? So I'm looking and like deep diving on Twitter. I'm no physician or anything like this. So I get on ChatGPT and all of this stuff. And apparently it can be a side effect of a stroke where you have these kind of jerking movements. So my question to the mainstream media, specifically Jake Tapper, is why are we not covering this? I mean, this guy is always putting makeup on his hands. He loses his train of thought at all times. He himself forgot that he appointed Fed Chair Jerome Powell. He twists his words up all the time. He's having mini strokes on camera. His cankles are as swollen as, the Mississippi River. And this just doesn't even get covered. And he's mini stroking out in a presser. And we're not even covering it. Had Joe Biden, barely tripped, which he did up Air Force One, Fox News lost their damn minds. But before he had what appears to me to be a mini stroke in this press conference, he says so much crazy shit all the time. But I think that sometimes he engages in kind of this flattery towards men. And I get these huge homoerotic vibes from it. It's like total gay stuff, which, by the way, I'm the biggest ally. Whoever is closeted in the MAGA movement, I am fighting for your right to come out of the closet and have a country where you can live in equality. So I'm fighting for your rights. But you may remember when Trump talked about the size of Arnold Palmer's penis, how amazing it was and just how impressive it was. I thought the whole thing was just so incredibly gay. Watch this right here.
He's a handsome guy, by the way. It's usually not my thing, but he is a good looking sucker.
Okay. A couple of things here. Number one, that he says that to Harrison Butker. And let me remind you that Harrison Butker is the kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs who did a photo shoot with a homophobic Republican senator from Missouri, Josh Hawley, which was the gayest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like looked like engagement photo shoot in the end zone of a football field. Harrison Butker is also the guy who gave the horrific commencement speech at probably some batshit crazy Christian university where he talks about women that should aspire to be homemakers. But Trump turns around, and I want to remind you, this is the guy that went on a 5 to 10 minute rant about the size of Arnold Palmer's cock. All right. So he turns around and looks at Harrison Butker and says, he's a good looking sucker. And that's not usually my thing. And if you really study Trump, there's always sometimes this kind of like coded gay homoerotic stuff. And within the whole MAGA movement, it's very homoerotic, like the worship of Trump. They have to Photoshop the photographs of him where he has abs and he looks better, which really is not that magnificent of a photoshopping job. But I just thought that was pretty interesting. And also who got a big chuckle out of that, of course, is our little sociopath, J.D. Vance. And Kylie, will you play that again for our viewer? Let's just do a little eyeliner watch. I mean, you guys, that's pretty smoky. And, and there's a little gay humor there. And J.D. Vance was all chips in on it. Imagine if Barack Obama called somebody a handsome sucker and said, this is typically not my thing. I mean, to me, I read that as it's typically not my thing, but yeah, I'd make out with him. And that's kind of what it sounds like to me. All right. And then he does what I believe to be a little bit more gay coded stuff in this same bonkers presser. Kylie, play the clip.
14-time WWE world champion, and he's a man who you're not going to mess around with. Even Bryson said, I think I'll take a pass on him, right? You're going to take. And he's another one who's been my friend for a long time. He's really an amazing athlete. Triple H. Here he is. Oh, he's still very strong. He's a strong guy. And it's great to have you. And you felt very strongly about this.
Okay, Kylie, freeze that right there and keep that up. Okay, several things I want to discuss here. Number one, Trump always says he's 6'3". And you can see that J.D. Vance, our little smoky eye sociopath, yassified student of Peter Thiel, is standing next to Trump. And I Googled, and J.D. Vance is 6'2". Clearly, Trump is shorter. Secondly, Triple H is standing right next to him. And apparently Trump has known this man for years. And he's looking around, and there's only 5 people standing around him. And he's looking around and looks directly at him, and the guy standing next to him the entire time. Again, Jake Tapper, imagine if Joe Biden did such a thing. But what they do with Trump is everybody openly and brazenly covers for him. The press, the people surrounding him, the public. We've just accepted that we have a man that is batshit crazy, bonkers, and not the sharpest tool in the shed. And everybody just every day normalizes this brazen cognitive decline. But did you notice how he grabbed his arm? He grabs Triple H's bicep and just kind of like caresses it. And again, I'm the biggest ally on the planet. I'm not with the political party that runs around screaming all this homophobic shit all the time, but under the scenes does all this gay shit. And so here he is grabbing him, talking about how strong he is. And here, Kylie has it here. He's grabbing his muscle. Look at him. He's looking down, talking about he's such a strong, tough guy. It's just kind of gay to me is all I'm saying. All right. I want you guys to know that we are so happy every morning when we look at the news to partner with Ground News, because it's bananas bonkers how the right covers Trump and how the left covers Trump and how normalized he is in right-wing headlines, and then how you get some more objective in other headlines. So listen to this. Breitbart's headline is Judge Mandates Medicaid Funding for All Planned Parenthood Clinics. And Salon covers the same story. Judge rules Trump admin must fund Planned Parenthood. And the best thing to get through all the BS of this bananas period that we're living through in America is download Ground News. I'm telling you guys, it is a fantastic app. It is the number one way that I get the news. And out of dozens of articles, Ground News found reporting on just the story that I'm telling you. It tells you who owns it. It tells you the lien. And most importantly, it tells you the factual percentage of the article. I encourage each of you to join us by going to groundnews.com/IHIP to get 40% off the Ground News Vantage plan that Pumps and I use every single day. They are subscriber funded and female founded, which is my absolute favorite part about this. By subscribing, you're not only getting a tool that we all need today to battle through this crazy period, you're also supporting my and Angie's work here at IHIP News. That's Ground, GROUND news.com/IHIP. Kylie will pin that right below in the show notes. Okay, back to the bonkers presser. If all of that is not just crazy, that is a sitting United States president, if that's not crazy enough, Taco Tits with his little cankles invites a registered sex offender to the presser. Put this up. Midas Touch is reporting that Donald Trump launched a program for kids at the White House alongside disgraced footballer Lawrence Taylor, a registered sex offender who raped a 16-year-old girl. He's not even hiding the fact that he's okay hanging out with sexual predators. And I would add to that, this is the point. This is what authoritarians and autocrats do. They say the rules don't apply to us. And it appears to me that it's almost like a prerequisite to hang out with predators. And Trump was Jeffrey Epstein's best friend. I mean, they hung out for decades, for absolute decades. And it was never disqualifying for Trump that Epstein had a complete Ponzi scheme wherein he sexually abused children. In fact, Trump bragged about it. There's video of him saying, oh, Jeffrey Epstein's a great guy. I mean, he loves the women, a little on the young side, but he's great. And so it is 0% shock that he is inviting a registered sex offender to the White House to be in his press conference while he's basically hitting on the kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs, who does photo shoots with Republican Senator Josh Hawley. This is the MAGA party, you guys. This is how insane it is. And every day it gets reported like this shit is normal. This is completely bonkers beyond. And we can never normalize this. A civilized society should never normalize this. I want to leave you all with one final clip from this presser. And of course, it's McCankle's Taco Tits getting testy with the media. Play the clip.
You said that Jeffrey Epstein stole people from Mar-a-Lago. At the time, did you know why he was taking those young women, including Virginia?
No, I didn't know. I mean, I would figure it was ABC fake news that would ask that question, one of the worst. But no, I don't know really why. But I said, if he's taking anybody from Mar-a-Lago, he's hiring or whatever he's doing. I didn't like it, and we threw him out. We said we don't want him, at the place. This is a story that's been known for many years, as you know. But it's, I didn't like it that he was doing that. Yeah, please.
Okay, so number one, he always gets testy with the media and the fake news, and his followers just believe that. It's a very fair, objective question, and if you don't like getting questions that are objective from the media, guess what, big boy? Don't run for president. That's what happens when you're in the hot seat, and he's the one who wants to do press conferences 24/7, 365 with an army of crusty white men behind him. I would say an army of closet cases behind him, but that's just my opinion. But he's the one who puts himself in this position, and then he likes to humiliate and browbeat the press. This is a direct attack on democracy. Furthermore, the only thing that he's upset about with Jeffrey Epstein is that Epstein was recruiting people for his sexual abuse Ponzi scheme from Mar-a-Lago, and Trump felt like he owned those girls and that they weren't for hire or, available to Jeffrey Epstein. This Jeffrey Epstein thing, and I'll tell you what pisses me off the most about it, is that the Democrats didn't run more on this, that this has been here the whole time. I remember when Jeffrey Epstein, they found him of suicide. I thought, well, that's kind of fishy. He's in protective custody of the federal government. You think they'd have a camera in the cell? Like, how did that happen? But so much shit goes on in this Trump era. But the Democrats have got to start getting their hands dirty. And this is the stuff, sadly, we could sit and talk about, bringing healthcare to rural hospitals and paying people a livable wage. It doesn't really penetrate in the algorithm. This stuff does. So if we're going to be a healthy Democratic Party, let's go in, fight dirty, and bring all of the policies for the public that help the good with us. All right, that's all we have for today. I'll be back later on with pumps, and we'll see you all soon.